DETV News is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
Live proudly, boldly, and with peace of mind by advocating for your health with an early cancer screening. The LGBTQIA+ community is at higher risk of cancer, but screenings can detect cancer early when it's most treatable, giving you the power to live exactly as you are. Talk to your healthcare provider today. If you don't have insurance, talk to a nurse navigator to see if you qualify for free screenings.
The HBCU Gala raised major dollars to support students. Vandals strike a Wilmington nonprofit, and the president's son pleads guilty to federal charges. Those stories and more are coming up next. You're watching DETV News. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Wilson. Tonight, the top news comes from Delaware's federal court. That's where Hunter Biden pled guilty to 2 counts of tax evasion and 1 gun charge. U.S. Attorney David Weiss filed the charges yesterday along with a plea agreement. The president's son is charged with failure to pay $1 million in federal income taxes on time and the unlawful possession of a revolver, despite being addicted to drugs. The Gun Control Act prohibits drug users from possessing firearms. Biden reportedly replied no on a federal form in 2018 to a question of whether he was an unlawful user of or addicted to drugs. In his book titled Beautiful Things, Hunter wrote about his drug addiction in 2018 when he admitted to smoking crack every 15 minutes. Under the plea deal, the tax charges are misdemeanors. The gun charge is a felony, but under the deal, the charge will be dismissed if Hunter completes 2 years of probation. It is unlikely Biden will serve time if he complies with the conditions of the deal. In other news, a local nonprofit agency was targeted by vandals, and the children it serves will suffer because of it. Kaylin Pride has that story.
How do you plan for somebody vandalizing your bus?
Smashed, torn, and tattered.
We're just floored by the fact that someone would do this to a community center here in the heart of a community.
This bus, once used to transport youth to summer camps and programs, was destroyed last Wednesday in broad daylight by vandals who are just teenagers themselves. Construction workers from across the street captured the teenagers in action, vandalizing the neighborhood house van.
It breaks my heart. Instead of vandalizing the bus, we would wish they would be here with the rest of our youth. And we don't understand why. We park it at Mount Joy United Methodist Church for just this reason. It's been vandalized before, but this time it was completely destroyed and cannot be salvaged.
The Southbridge neighborhood house planned on using the 24-passenger van for its first summer programming next week. But if they can't get a new bus by then, the kids will no longer be able to go.
So we have no transportation for youth development, for summer camps, for daycare, or for any of the programs that we offer here, and there are many.
The nonprofit is now looking for donations to support the Youth Transportation Fund to help them get back on the road.
So we're at a loss in all avenues. Replacing it is going to take time with an insurance company. We'll have to raise money to rent. Renting something will be double or triple what it used to be. So, in all aspects, we're going to need help from the community.
As for the investigation, one of the juveniles has been taken into custody while the other remains on the loose. In the meantime, the neighborhood house is asking the community for donations, saying that every dollar counts. In Wilmington, Delaware with DETV, I'm Kaylin Pride.
In other news, Newcastle County Police hope the public can help investigators find a bank robber. Take a good look at this surveillance video. Police say this is the man who held up the WSFS Bank on Airport Plaza on Route 13. It happened last Friday afternoon. Police say the man handed a teller a threatening note and then fled the scene. If you recognize the suspect, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-TIP-3333. If your information leads to an arrest, you could get a reward. In news from Delaware State Police, investigators say a Dover man is dead after his SUV hit a tree at high speed, overturned, and then caught fire. It happened early Monday around 4 a.m. Investigators say the driver was approaching a slight curve on Lespig Road, but for unknown reasons lost control and crossed the roadway. When the car hit the tree, it spun around clockwise and then overturned before it caught fire. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene. Delaware State Police are asking anyone who may have seen the fatal crash to contact them. Also from Delaware State Police in Sussex County, a Salisbury man was arrested in Seaford for driving under the influence. He had 5 other DUI convictions on his record. Stephen Spite was stopped after his vehicle was seen swerving across lanes on Sussex Highway. He was pulled over at a nearby convenience store where the arresting officer smelled alcohol on his breath. Spite was taken to the Sussex Correctional Center on a $10,000 cash bond. Also from Sussex County, Delaware State Police want the public's help in finding a Bridgeville man. Have you seen 33-year-old Edward Stewart? He's wanted in connection with a domestic-related shooting of an adult and firing a weapon in the presence of 2 children. It happened in Greenwood. Stewart is wanted for several other crimes. Anyone with information about his whereabouts can call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-TIP-3333. Turning to other news that's good and bad when it comes to state revenues. According to the Delaware Economic and Financial Advisory Council, called DFACT, revenue estimates for this fiscal year will be up by $58 million compared to last May's projections. That's thanks to slight gains in estimates for personal and corporate income taxes and unclaimed property revenues. The bad news, according to DFACT, the forecasts for the next 2 fiscal years don't look nearly as good. Expectations are that net personal income taxes, along with franchise taxes, will drop, along with corporate income taxes. Speaking about money, it's all about good news for the 4th annual HBCU Gala. DETV was there as hundreds gathered at the Hotel DuPont to raise money to support Wilmington's HBCU Week. Tonight, we know the tally. Thanks to generous donors, the event raised $343,000. No date has been given for this year's HBCU Week, but it's always held in September. The event is designed to expose high school students to more than 100 representatives from historically Black colleges and universities. Many students walk away with on-the-spot scholarships, so the kids come prepared with their transcripts and SAT scores in hand. Since 2017, more than 6,000 on-the-spot acceptances have been offered during HBCU Week, and more than $60 million in scholarships have been awarded. Clearly, the money raised at the gala is a big boost to this initiative. And more good news, according to an internet site called Scholaroo, Wilmington is the cheapest city in the entire country to live. You heard it right. Scholaroo came to that conclusion when ranking 151 cities in 8 qualities that make cities hit its best places to live list. The site posted that Wilmington has the lowest rent rates, and the city, like the state, has no sales taxes. Wilmington's average homes are valued at $302,000, well below the national average of a little more than $347,000. The city's Scholaroo rankings in other categories didn't make the top of the list. Wilmington ranked 54 overall. It was 19th in healthcare, 29 in education, 38th in quality of life, and 145th when it came to crime and safety. And Nerdit Cares is an extension of a Wilmington IT company called Nerdit Now. Yesterday, it was extra special for the students in the program's Workforce Development Program because a graduation ceremony was held to celebrate their achievements.
I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to Nerdit Cares for the tremendous support they have provided me throughout my college journey. Their unwavering belief in my abilities and their constant encouragement has played a pivotal role in shaping me both personal and a professional growth.
Launched in 2020, the program gives participants access to hands-on experience needed to find gainful careers in today's tech industry. Congratulations to all. And the riverfront in Wilmington has a new addition. Carvatize, a locally grown business that puts advertising on cars, opened its headquarters in the Shipyard Center. The company moved into a renovated $1.2 million space. According to the company's CEO, Mac McAlood, Carvatize had a 55% rise in sales in 2022, while the staff has grown from 20 in 2021 to 55 right now. The company was founded by two young men who were students at the University of Delaware at the time.
It's a beautiful occasion. It's a really important milestone to us and the company, and I'm happy to do it for our team.
11 years ago, we just had an idea and a concept, and just kept working at it, and excited to see what the next 11 years brings.
We were considering a lot of different locations, and ultimately the heaviest anchor was Delaware, because that is kind of the birthplace of the company. That's where we have very deep community roots. That's where our initial talent pool was based. So when we were kind of weighing the pros and cons of do you stay, keep things based here, to move to Philadelphia and build the headquarters there.
And they have a kind of state-of-the-art setup for everyone to make it feel like a home office, but the best of everything.
You can be special here.
Finally tonight, nix any plans to see the 4th of July fireworks in Bethany Beach. Due to a beach replenishment program, town officials announced the fireworks display won't happen until September 3rd, when many tourists are gone. The news is said to be a big blow to business owners who say the 4th of July is the biggest, highest grossing day of the entire season. Town officials say the delay is out of their control. If there is a silver lining, there will be fewer people around for people like me who love to see the fireworks but hate dealing with the crowds. That's going to do it for this edition of DETV News. I'm Lauren Wilson. Thanks for joining us. And be sure to watch us on all social media platforms and hit that like and share button. Matt Ford will be here with the next update. Until then, stay well.